So a small video about scripting. So we have an adventure here with two locations. So this is location 1, this is location 2. Two very simple descriptions. You're at the start, you're at the finish. Then we have the connection table between the start location and the finish location. So that's start leads east to finish. Finish is just the name of location. That doesn't have a special meaning. There is actually no end to this game because we haven't entered in a win condition yet, or a lose condition. So anyway, this is the adventure on the right hand side. You're at the start, you can go to the east, you can go to the west. So there's just two kind of empty locations. So what we're going to do now is implement some hunger. It's not particularly fun hunger, but just easy to implement. So we have a hunger level. We set that to be initially 0. So just to go through that again, we use the autocomplete. We select integers, which are numbers. We press that. We've got different types of integers here, but this one is a mutable integer. So we call that hunger. And now we can reference that integer from somewhere else. So the T3 is the game logic that happens every time a command is entered. So it's after a system command or movement. So we can have an always block here, and I'm going to make that inline. And from here we can implement a number of different commands. But one of the commands we can implement is an increment. Oops. Increment. And increments operate on integers. So if we press Control Space here, we only have one integer. So if we had another one, say hunger, let's call it happiness. I hope I spelled it right. Probably didn't. Is there other two N's? No, I think there's one N. Then we have a choice. But we only want hunger, so we'll wipe out happiness. Now we want to inform the player if they're hungry, so we create a conditional statement, which is if, and we want to evaluate the hunger. So hunger. So if the hunger is, let's say, greater than 5, then let's do something. So let's print. So print, you are hungry. Better find some food. And if we're too hungry, we want to die. So we can create an else if here, which will only be executed if the top if does not evaluate to true. So if this condition is true, this is executed. Otherwise, if this condition is true, then this section is evaluated. So if we want the hunger to be greater than, let's say, 8, we want to die. But we'll never get to this block because it will always execute this one first. So we need to switch these around. So what do we want to do to end the game? So let's just print, you died of starvation. But we don't want that just to flash on the screen, so let's wait for user input and then end the game. Maybe beep. Actually, let's not beep because I don't have the speakers on. But you can imagine there could be a beep. And that's just some simple starvation logic. It's inline there, but we can put this into a subroutine. So let's save this and run it. So we're at the start, nothing's going on. So we should be ticking up to hunger. Maybe this next, you are hungry, better find some food. If we have another 3 turns, yeah, we have died of starvation. Now we have, it's restarting the game. So that's some simple logic, and you can see that we have different conditions that we can run here. So we can check, we can do some chance operations, we can evaluate the number of turns, the number of items carried, character locations. Yeah, there are lots of different things to evaluate here. We can also use true. So this would evaluate to true every single time. So we start the game, we will die every single time. Yeah, so that's pretty grim. Anyway, that's the end of the brief scripting language introduction.